And we are live.
So
Just
exciting.
live for Dharma Talk Tuesday this week, which I'm trying something new, which is to do it like an interview this way. So Nicole, you're joining us today, and I'm so happy to have you here. I am not in my Dharma Talk Tuesday chair because we're doing it this way. So I've got like this interesting lighting happening and the audio. And then here's our beautiful angel, Nicole, here with us. So Nicole, I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy that you're here with us today.
Thank you. Me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and it's let's see, it's 6 o'clock here, so it's 8 o'clock there.
Yes,
Right? So thank you for taking time out of your evening to be here with us.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring, so just to give you all some background information, I wanted to bring Nicole on because I'm really, really, really inspired by her. And I just figured if I'm inspired by her, I think you would be too. So I'm going to give her a chance to share like who she is, what she's up to, what her story is. But like my intention for today's Dharma Talk Tuesday is to provide you with inspiration, whether you're a brand new entrepreneur or brand new Dharma queen and you're like, I've got this vision and I don't know where to go from here, or you're actually seasoned and conditioned and you've been in it for years and you're like, I really need some inspiration right now, because I'll tell you what, I have been there, and I'm there more often than you probably would believe, to be perfectly frank with you. And we all need that moment of inspiration because, you know, the way that I see it, and that's sort of the positioning for today's Dharma Talk Tuesday, is from plateau to breakthrough, because we all have those like plateau moments. Like, Nicole, have you seen that meme? It's like the entrepreneurial journey where it's like, do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's like, today's amazing. I love my business. I love my life. Oh my God, I'm going bankrupt. This is the best thing ever. I'm so awesome. Oh my God, what did I do? It's like this like schizophrenic, like, but that's entrepreneurship. And that's part of the fun of it too, is being like along for the ride and being willing to go for the ride. So Nicole, I want to hand it over to you for you to share some of your story with our Dharma queens.
Awesome. Well, I met Julie because I enrolled in Hardcore Leadership, and a friend of mine who I went through my coach training program with 5+ years ago highly recommended it. And I was feeling a little bit stuck. I was going through that ups and those peaks that we just talked about, and was really having a hard time growing my business and lost my mojo and my excitement for coaching, and took on a full-time job. I helped a friend of mine out at a golf club, and I knew it's not what I wanted to do forever, but it was kind of a filler for a couple different reasons. One, filling that loneliness that I felt being single, living alone, owning my own business, working from home, and the income piece. So I joined Hardcore Leadership Program and was on the search for what's next for me. And that's where I got really inspired with, I know what I want to do. I know I want to go back to coaching. It's what I'm meant to be doing. Now to figure out how the heck to make it happen. And so that's kind of where we met. And it has been those peaks and valleys, and the I don't know how I'm going to make this happen, but I'm committed
maybe
to
we
making
can
it
dive
happen.
into one of those moments of like, because I was with you in some of those moments where it was like,
Sure,
it's hard. Like, I don't know if this is going to work again, you know, like dive into like just to like paint that picture in vivid detail. And my intention in that is to create connection for others to like plug in and say, oh my gosh, she really gets it.
Yeah, totally. Well, and it's funny because we bring it up and I can totally feel it, right? Like where that energy was. So, just having a hard time getting in front of the right clients. I had a hard time messaging, and marketing was never the thing that I enjoyed doing, but I loved helping people. And I knew that it was what I was supposed to be doing. I just didn't know how to make it happen. And I feel like, there was days where I was like, I knew what I meant to be doing. I just didn't know like how the hell I was going to make money doing it.
Yeah.
And I was scared, it was scary. And, and it took a lot for me to decide to leave the job, that salary. And I also knew that if I stayed there, it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
And that I got to take a chance on myself and trust myself and believe in myself. And so, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's when you and I started working together.
Yeah. And what was it? I would love for you to go into that. Like, what inspired, like, why working with me? Like, what was it about our conversation, or what was it about, like, what inspired you? Like, what caused that decision for you?
Well, I mean, there was a whole lot with your generosity,
Mm.
with you supporting me. So I completed leadership, but I didn't graduate because I did not achieve my goals. And so you were there constantly supporting me, and, being there, checking in on me, and just my rock through, helping me try to get over that finish line. And I remember saying to you, when we were talking about yoga and meditation and all of that, I was like, my issues are in my tissues.
Over and over.
Over and over.
Yeah.
But I know it, right? Like, I knew that, like, there was things in my body, and, limiting beliefs and all of these things that were really preventing me from attracting the right clients, from putting out whatever energy I was putting out. I kept attracting people that were like, oh, I want to work with you. I can't afford it. I
Right.
can't afford you. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. And so I knew that it was something that needed to release within me, deeper within me, not just in my mind, but in my body, for
And I
sure.
love that you just are like, I was attracting that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You're very clear about that. That's powerful.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did we do?
So we did yoga. We did a lot of yoga, and it was intense. And I remember, I don't know if it was even 5 minutes into it, and I just felt all these feelings and emotions. I was just tears streaming down my face, and releasing so much stuff in my hips and in my lower back. And yeah, I just felt so much release, and it was intense and powerful. And um, I can't even imagine how, like, what would my life be right now if that didn't happen? Because I
Wow.
just feel so light and free.
Wow.
Yeah, and I felt it instantly, and
Yeah.
that shift hasn't. The shift has stayed,
Yeah.
since that one day.
Incredible. And I want to fast forward to the results, because I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who feel like, wait, so yoga does what? So let's
Uh-huh.
actually like go right into the results of what you've created so far.
Okay. So let's see. I have enrolled, and this is funny because I've had some really great successes up along the way,
Yeah.
but I will say, really committing to the Maya program and being a participant there. In the last couple of weeks, I have created a partnership with a company who is basically going to market my business for me for free to their clients.
Chills. Oh my God. That's exactly what you wanted.
Like, it's so crazy.
That's
So
exactly what you wanted.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And so, I had a really powerful conversation with somebody I knew from my community, and said, here's the benefits of coaching. And he said, oh my gosh, I've got to introduce you to this person. And she now is creating my marketing collateral.
So
And yeah, so it's amazing. And then I enrolled one private client and 4 women into my upcoming group coaching program that's starting in September. I have, let's see what else. I got asked to participate in um, like a business expo that's going to have a couple hundred HR professionals. And so I'm going to be able to market my business in front of all of them, and the importance of coaching and how it and supports their teams and the employee satisfaction rate and their energy and their productivity and all the benefits
Yeah.
coaching brings to the company.
Yeah. And Good.
Crazy. And that is in less than a month.
In less than a month, after a bit of a plateau.
Yes.
Like a really frustrating plateau.
Yes. Like literally thinking, oh my God, am I going to have to start bartending?
Yeah.
Or waiting tables? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And so how inspiring is that? Like hearts and likes, if you're watching right now on the live or on the replay, if that's inspiring to you, because I know like I'll probably actually go back and rewatch this in moments when I need inspiration to be reminded that like flow like this does happen. And so like, let's link this up here. So these are your results. These are your amazing results. And then what caused it? Okay. So a lot of yoga and like talk about the yoga. I need to sneeze. Hold on.
Okay. Bless you.
Releasing. Talk about the yoga. What made it different from other yoga you've done before? Like what caused the release for you?
Well, I think it was the partnership that you and I had. I believe that it was focusing on my intention. And you and I talked about first what I wanted to create. And so there was some work that we did prior to the yoga session.
Yeah.
And then, so you customized something that would support me in releasing the issues from my tissues.
Yes.
It was, 2 hours plus another bless you 30 minutes 45 minutes of meditation afterwards, all customized for me and what I wanted to create and what was happening in my life at that time. So it was just the most powerful thing I ever went through. For sure.
So it was chakra clearing and opening yoga plus guided emotional cultivation, which is sort of like a guided meditation that's very specific to the vision that you want to create. So elevating the emotions around the vision that you want, which was very specific for you. And so it was a VIP day that we did at first. And so I custom crafted that emotional cultivation to match exactly what it was you wanted to call in. Yeah. And so this is so funny. Jody says, bless you. Thank you, Jody. So my intention for this conversation is, for those of you that are watching, is to inspire you. And so if you have questions for Nicole or for me on how she went, like we already kind of just went over the big picture of it. But if you find yourself in a plateau and you're like, I'm ready for my breakthrough, ask a question.
Yeah.
Whether it's like on the live or on the replay, ask a question and Nicole and I will jump in and answer it for you. And while you're posting your questions, were you going to say something, Nicole?
Well, I was going to say one of the things that I am very present to is that releasing all of this energy, this pent up energy in me also allowed me to stand in my power.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I've listened to myself, especially recently on these enrollment conversations and this, the discovery calls when I'm coaching these new people. And I am so just committed. And I'm not, I've always had this need to be liked, belief. And I was just, I threw it out the window. And it took that, I really feel like it took that practice that we did for that to start to unfold, because I really just, it was a big step for me in creating clients. So
the thing about why I include the yoga practice in VIP days and in my Money Alignment Yoga Academy is because there is so much subconscious stuff that we have no awareness of. And the way words you use are the issues in my tissues, but the way that I talk about it, which is the same, is your memories, beliefs, and experiences are stored in your body, especially the parts of your body that have big, like our hips or our belly, like our shoulders and our neck. Like the reason why people feel tension there is because you're actually storing memories, beliefs, and experiences there. And so what yoga does is it moves yoga is, movement plus breath, yoking, union, breath plus movement. It moves that energy through, it just makes the space. It opens the energy channels. It aligns your chakras. It opens your meridians. It flushes out. It actually gets rid of those blocks. So it's not like you need to journal your way through it. You don't need to like affirmations your way through it. You don't need to write, like I am worthy 100 times in your journal every morning. Like that is not what it's a yoga practice. It's the emotional cultivation practice that we did. And then you go take action. And so one of the things that I've seen from you, Nicole, is that you got aligned through the yoga practice, you received the emotional cultivation, and then you took action. And action from that place of alignment creates really epic things. That's what I saw in you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it took you to present me to it. Remember you reached out and I was like, well, I didn't do that much. Right. And then you're like, do you remember all these things we just talked about over the course of the last couple of weeks?
Right.
Like there's big shifts.
Yeah. Well, and even in your beingness, because I've known you for like
6 months. 7 months?
Yeah, 7 months, almost 8 months. And like your beingness is light and radiant. And there's this confidence shining out from you, which, I was messaging with someone who has been sort of in my space, and she asks me questions and follows me and stuff. And she was talking about the vicious cycle of like, and I'm sure so many of you can relate to this. I definitely can. But it's like a limiting belief comes up, and then you go to a healer, you go to therapy or something like that, and you deal with it. And then like you uncover another limiting belief. And it's like this vicious cycle. And at some point, you actually just need to take action. You actually just need to go have the enrollment call. You actually just need to go do the workshop or do the yoga practice and then make that phone call or whatever. Because it's actually in taking that action, even at the price and at the fear of like rejection or humiliation or doing it wrong or falling on your face or wasting your time. That's a big one for me. And like trying over and over and over again and nothing is happening. Even at the expense of that experience, you got to go for it, because eventually, especially if you're aligned, that's not going to be your experience. Like, because with you, once you got aligned, it was like boom, 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 boom. But it's like at some point you just got to take action. And so it's like you got aligned and then you took action and then you created the results. And that creates confidence. And that's the kind of confidence that no amount of money can buy.
Totally true.
Yeah.
Or confidence that your circumstance or status can't buy, right? Like, when you believe in yourself and it's authentic, game changer.
That's so well said. I just got chills. When you believe in yourself and it's authentic, it's a game changer. That is so true. And then it allows you to do bigger and more things, make bigger and more impact, make bigger and more income, because God's not going to give you what you're not ready to receive.
Totally.
Like, you've got to meet him halfway and show up and do that work, which is so much easier to do when you're aligned.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's proof.
Yeah. So Nicole, as we're wrapping up here, what are some things that you feel the audience that's tuning in right now, either live or on the replay, must hear for the purposes of inspiring them?
I would say connect with yourself. I think that that is one of the most important things. Is really vision key, right? Get really clear on your vision and then connect with yourself and spend time doing meditation or, in silence, whatever way you feel most connected with yourself, spend time doing that, because there's a inner, and I'm not as well, experienced in the yogi world. But it's like an inner peace that I felt and an inner calm and trust. And then where I started to be able to listen to my intuition and trust it. But until I started practicing meditation, which is something I hardly ever did. I mean, every 9 months or something, I would do something, I'd be like, oh, we'll give this a shot.
It's about like that time of the year again.
Yeah. Right. So I feel like once I started practicing that more and I started listening to myself more. I started being able to tune into my intuition, which then allowed me to trust myself.
Yes.
And I think that then comes out into the world, and then people are like, I want some of that.
That's
Whatever
right.
she's got going on, I want some of that.
That is so true. Self-trust and decisiveness are two of the biggest blocks that I see, at least in my audience. So I love that you just spoke into those two things, because those are, and I feel like you were starting to reach a point where you were starting to lose trust in yourself, and you were starting to like, what's my intuition here? But then you broke through, and now it's like, no. You're like, I'm locked in, I'm locked on, and I'm only just starting type of thing.
Yeah. And, and I want to say something about that too, because I am locked in and locked on, but I'm also flexible. So I'm trusting that, I've got a vision I've created, and I'm going in the direction of that. But because now that I trust my intuition, I know that I will be led on the path that I'm supposed to take.
Yeah.
So,
Love that. Yeah. Co-creation, divine co-creation.
Yeah. And vision is key. I truly believe vision is key. Without it.
Unrelenting in that vision.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So what I want to say here is, if you're inspired by Nicole's story and by this crazy lighting that is currently happening in this box right now,
angelic.
Thank you. What I would love to say is, I'm going to post a link here after this broadcast is over with a link to talk to me this week. So you're either going to get me or you're going to get Amber Humes, who is one of my team members, one of my elite coaches. She is an epic human. She's really amazing. And you're going to get one of us. And if you want to feel what Nicole is feeling right now, which is this like upward transformation, onward and upward, like, so many amazing things in store for you right now. And you're confident, and you're it's like there's no stopping you. So if you're inspired by Nicole, and if you want this feeling, just know it's completely possible and available to you too. And like, why wouldn't we want a world full of people like that? A world full of Nicoles who are radiant and confident and going for it and walking around like, I'm going to make a difference for you, and I'm going to make a difference for you, and I'm going to make a difference for you. And so I'm going to post the link here for you to book. It's a totally complimentary call. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk and see if Maya is a good fit for you. The doors are closing really, really soon. We have a few spots left, and this particular group of Mayans is really very exceptional. Like, normally people start seeing results in months 3, 4, and 5, and your wave of Mayans, it's like the majority of you are already popping within the first few weeks, like big results, like $6,000 clients, big corporate opportunities, like book deals, like big things happening, raising the prices. And so if you want to part of that bandwagon, if you want to join that train and ride that wave, then simply book a time on the schedule. And that's it. So Nicole, I want to thank you so much for generously sharing, for your honesty, your openness, your vulnerability, the inspirational human and leader that you are. And I'm just so grateful to be working together and to stand shoulder to shoulder with you.
Me too. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next week back in the Dharma Talk Tuesday chair on Dharma Talk Tuesday. Bye.